all of you went to school with me that rejected me and thought I was different and treated me badly. Um, this is what I'm going to tell you. This is why I'm different. If you keep listening, you won't believe it. It's different, and I've hated all of you for so long, and some of you I don't like, but I've been through a whole lot in my life, and I don't think I deserve to be treated differently because of it, or to be treated like an outcast. When I was born, I was in Pennsylvania. I lived in North Carolina until I was 3. My dad took care of me. My brother, my little sister, was just born. My mother was a prostitute and an alcoholic. She'd been in and out of jail, in and out of rehabs, and she left, and my dad said he was leaving. She didn't come back, so she left. We came back to Pennsylvania to live with my aunt and uncle for a few months, and then we got our own place again. I'm going to jump forward a bit. When I was 7, I was diagnosed with chronic depression. I didn't know why I was depressed, but I was always depressed. It was hard for me growing up, not knowing why I wanted to kill myself, not knowing why I wanted to die. I didn't know where my mother was. I didn't remember her. When I was about 10, my dad's girlfriend, who has raised us, she had raised us since I was 3, and I was probably about 10 years old. She attacked my brother. He was in a full body cast from a shattered hip by jumping off a swing, and she had tried to attack him. My dad kept telling her to stop, and she wouldn't stop. She just kept going at it, and he hit her. My dad hit her, and the police were called. He was arrested. They took him down to the station. He came back. She left, and a few months went by. Court proceedings. I had to testify along with my brother and my little sister about what we'd seen, and it was hard for me not to cry because I love them both very much, but I knew what happened, and I had to tell the truth. All I remembered at that point was holding my little sister on the porch to stop her from crying. Whenever all of it was happening, we had to leave the house. I mean, we had a really nice house, a huge pond, dirt bikes. I did have a horse, but I had a bunch of cats because I love cats. And one day, my dad said, because he had made the decision, he didn't want us to go into social services. He wanted us to have a good home, and he didn't know where to take us. So he told us to each pack a suitcase, and so we did. And he said we're going on vacation. We were very excited. We never went on vacation, and so we got in the car and we left. And a few weeks went by. We went up into Canada. We saw Niagara Falls, and so from the U.S. and the Canadian side of we went through Virginia and a bunch of other states. We wound up over in the Oregon area. We went up into Washington some, a little into California, but this time he did have his new girlfriend with him, Doris. She was his high school sweetheart, and she came up from Virginia to live with him a few months before we went on the run, and she went along with us. And I asked my dad one day, I said, when are we going back, Dad? School's going to start soon. And he told us that we weren't going back. I didn't understand. I mean, we had our dirt bikes, I had my cats. I love my cats. We had a pond. We had everything there. My schooling, my friends, my friend Casey, which I love you, Casey. I love you dearly. Not me, but anyways, he told us that he had finally convinced my aunt and uncle to take us so he can get himself situated. I didn't really know exactly everything that was going on at the time, but I knew enough. We were excited. We were taking a plane from Oregon to California, and eventually after we did take that plane, we went from California over to the Philadelphia airport here, and my aunt and uncle picked us up. And my dad's girlfriend Doris, she went along with us, and we were there for a while. Doris left a few months after being there. I called her mom. I was still young, maybe 11 or so. I didn't understand. She wouldn't answer the phone anymore, and so I was there with my brother and my sister, and I was going to Pequot Valley middle school. I was starting in 6th grade. Someone named Lexi. She showed me around on the very first day. I wanted to be, if you're watching, I wanted to be your friend, but I just don't think I fit into that crowd. That's how I was treated anyways. I mean, I'm not the skinniest, you were pretty, and your friends were pretty. I mean, who am I, you know? So I kind of kept to myself from there. My little sister, maybe a year later, was accepted at Milton Hershey School, boarding school, so she went there. So it was me and my brother. 7th grade and 8th grade, rolled by. When I was getting ready to go into my freshman year of high school, I was in social services along with my brother. My dad was still in jail because he had to turn himself in. I had no idea where my mother was, and it was very difficult for me. I had to go to another school in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, but after being there for about a year, I came back to Peckway for my sophomore year, and it was good. I got to see a lot of old faces, probably like 2 friends that actually had. I was staying there at a place called Christ Home for Children in Paradise, Pennsylvania. It was difficult for me moving there because I had recently tried to attempt, to kill myself. I was depressed. I had drank bleach and I'd slit my wrists, and I was chronically depressed. I didn't know what to do. I was at Christ Home up until my senior year. My senior year, I went to Votech for baking and pastry at Mount Joy. A few months into my senior year, I ran away into Lancaster, where I was kind of sexually assaulted and getting things that I really shouldn't have been involved with. But I went back to where I was living, and I kept running away, and eventually they sent me to a shelter for kids, and I was there. I was attending regular school once a week, and then I graduated high school and also got my certificate for baking and pastry. And at 17 and a half, I saw a judge, and I told him, look, I had saved up $3,000 from working at McDonald's that I'd quit working at a few months previous, and I I wanted to be released. My dad was out of jail at the time, and he had asked me to live with him. He was out of jail for about a year, and he had asked me to live with him, and my life was so messed up. I didn't know what to do, and I said no. I want to kind of do my own thing for a while. And once I was released, I was staying in hotels, on and off. And then eventually my dad, he got a place at it's kind of, they help you get up on your feet. It's called the TLC. It's in Lancaster. I went to stay with him. I was only there for maybe a week or 2 tops. The money ran out, and I got accepted at the Water Street Mission. So I told my dad, look, I'm going to go stay there. So when I went there, I got kicked out, and I was homeless. I was sleeping on the streets and things like that. I met my ex Barry. He was extremely abusive. He would cuss at me. He would drink all the time. He was schizophrenic. He kind of see things, and he'd pee in dresser drawers. He broke the brand new flat screen that he forced me to buy for him. We maxed out the credit card, and I eventually left him and went to stay with my dad again. But then I went back, and he was still abusive, and so I was like, you know what? I called the police. So I was cheating on him. I guess what? I never cheated, ever. I stayed at the little room that we started to rent out maybe 2 weeks before he hit me. I never cheated, and I called the police. The police officer that showed up there, he said, oh, if he didn't use a weapon and there's no bruising, you can't do anything. I thought that was some bullshit. That wasn't right. He was arrested because he was wanted for jumping someone in Harrisburg. So I went to a safe house in Reading, and I was there for a couple months. I met a few people, but nothing really worked out. I had a job which I had quit. I didn't care about myself anymore. I just didn't care. Then I went to stay with my grandma for 2 weeks, and she called my cousin in North Carolina, And I was, I said, what do I have to lose? If I'm going to be homeless there, I'm homeless here anyway. What does it matter anymore? What matters? I don't care. I didn't care. And so I came to North Carolina. I was living with my cousin. Then I met my current boyfriend, Tommy. My cousin and his fiance, they didn't like him. My cousin liked him. He was his best friend, but she didn't, and so he didn't, because he's kind of whatever she wants him to do. And I left there, and we were, staying where he was staying with a friend, and on and off and things, and we were homeless again, and jumping around from place to place, surrounded by drugs, refused to use them. Don't want to be anything like my mother, but we eventually stayed with his brother and his brother's girlfriend, and stayed there for a while until we got to where we are now. He's working full-time. I'm a full-time student at Caldwell. We have a truck, and we have our own little place here. We have 2 cats, Annabelle and Sasha, and we're getting a puppy here in a couple days, named Buddy. Tommy says it's his puppy, but I think we should share. And everything we have now, it's not close to the things that I want in life, but I'm not going to put it down. I mean, it's something I haven't had before. I'm happy. I'm not depressed, and we have a little arguments sometimes, but I love him. I love him so much, and I don't ever want to lose him. And this is for all of you that treated me differently. Sam, you threw things at me. You mistreated me. Sometimes I would laugh, but I didn't think it was funny. I thought I deserved this. I'm different. I don't deserve to be treated right. I didn't know what to do. And this is so all of you now know why I am the way I am. I know that I don't owe any explanation, but this is so you know. I will never allow myself to be treated like that again. I will never allow myself to fall that low, to mess up that badly. I know a lot of it wasn't my fault, but a lot of it was. And everyone around the world to know that I've been denied food stamps and health insurance. I've had my last paycheck stolen from me, and I can't really do anything about it. My mom, she doesn't call me. I call her every once in a while. I just... This is life, people. All of you who wear skinny jeans, walk around in the boots that your parents bought you, Prada bags, going to really expensive colleges, driving your daddy's car, never working, never breaking a nail. The biggest thing you got to worry about is the next hair color you're going to have. Newsflash, someday they're going to be dead. Someday you will not have them. You will have to get up and fight. You will have to fight, or you won't have anything. You don't understand. I can't stand it. People who have good lives like that, people who have everything made for them, people who are financially secure and happy, everything just gets handed to them. Newsflash. The world isn't like that. And whether you think so or not, your luck will run out. Family will run out. And then what will you have? Nothing. You won't have anything. My name is Casey.